Peace fam, it's Tiffany Powers popping in with a video, and this video will be entitled Feed the Light. Feed the Light. If you've seen my last post about the gentleman who was speaking about how his mother made lunch for the bully, you got to check it out. So what I mean by Feed the Light, that's what I'm kind of, it's a spinoff of that post. And those of us who came to the planet with missions where we had to carry the weight for groups of people who were not strong enough or are not strong enough to carry it alone in reaching their divine destinies, their life missions and soul purposes, you know, so we have to carry that weight. So in doing that, we chose very traumatic childhoods or something very traumatic. You know, we are very strong and we're able to do that. But in feeding the light, and by us choosing traumatic childhoods, we suffer a lot. We suffer a lot. But because we heal, you know, we have a great ability to heal. So what I mean by feeding the light, we can't pay attention to the darkness all the time. We have to look and see the light in people. I'm gonna share a quick story with you. When I was younger, I was in 3rd grade, and there was this girl named Rosalind. Rosalind was like the, you know, real mouthy, just mean, you know. And so me choosing my traumatic childhood, we didn't have a lot. And so, you know, I looked like I didn't have a lot. My mother, 6 kids, 6 of us. And, you know, my dad is acting crazy and she's a young mom. And so we didn't have a lot. So we went to school to eat for the most part. School was, you know, lunch, you know what I mean? That's when we knew we was going to eat. So if you ever been hungry before, that's something you never forget. You never forget. And I'm not talking about hungry as in, oh, I'm about to be hungry, let me go get something to eat. It's like, no, you don't know if you're going to eat. So when I say feed the light, this particular time when I was in 3rd grade, like I said, I mentioned Rosalind. Rosalind's mom was going on a field trip with us. She was one of the volunteers. And so by Rosalind just being, you know, Rosalind, you know, just mean and, you know, mouthy or whatever. And me having to sit with her mom because, you know, the parents, they have to get a certain amount of kids when they're doing the little chaperone part. So I had to sit with Rosalind's mom and little brother. And I was terrified because I was like, oh, Rosalind, it's horrible. I can only imagine. Come on, bub, this way. I can only imagine her mom. So I sat with the mom and the little brother. The little brother was 3. And when I tell you, the mom was the exact opposite of Rosalind. Rosalind was, oh my God, I don't know where she got Rosalind from. This lady was a true saint. So we going on a trip, and so I'm sitting with them, and so we get to the part where, you know, the bus ride was quite a ways, and so we get to the part where the teachers tell us, okay, y'all break out y'all lunch. You're gonna eat before we get there, whatever. So Rosalind's mom noticed I didn't have a lunch. And, you know, we just didn't, you know, my mom didn't have it. I was just happy to be on the trip. And so she said, well, honey, where's your lunch? I said, I don't have a lunch. And so her little brother, she just looked so concerned. And so she was like, so it was, please don't let me get choked up. Tiff, don't get choked up. Don't let the Leo out. Don't let the Leo out. The Leos are crybabies. I'm sorry. You know, Leo is my balance. And Leos are crybabies. So, so she went, and so the lunch she had for the little boy, which was the little 3-year-old, she gave me half his lunch. And every time she went in that bag, so it was a tuna sandwich. She broke up, you know, gave me half of the sandwich. It was cookies, it was chips. I mean, every time she went in that bag, I was just happy because it was just so many treats. And she gave me all of that food. She didn't have to give me anything, but she looked at me, and whatever her thoughts was of me, it left such an impression. I'm 48 years old, and I can still think about that, and my heart is still touched like it happened yesterday. So she's probably looking at this little girl who's tattered, and she saw the light. And when she began to feed me and let me know that I was just as special as anybody else, no matter what I looked like, no matter what I had, or no matter what I lacked, that it just touches my heart to this day. So when I say feed the light, even though people are, you know, horrible, or they may be mean, or they may be, you know, if they were close to you at some point in your life and they did some, you know, something that's just kind of a little unsavory or unfavorable, just pay attention to the light. Feed the light. And that doesn't mean you have to deal with them in a personal way, but something attracted you to them that was good. So even in just spiritually, send them light, send them love, even if they, you don't really know their whole story. You know what I'm saying? Even though, you're not trying to justify what they may have done to you, feed the light. Feed the light in them. And that's how we gonna close this out. We closing this out in love. Now, don't get us wrong. We warriors, and we gonna do the goddamn thing. But at the same time, fam, love is about to close this out. Love is closing this out. And so feed the light, family. Feed the light in your inner child. Feed the light to your children. If you see their gifts, their talents, their abilities, feed those. Feed those. It is very detrimental, that we do that with children instead of pushing them into what we think they should be. So Rosalind's mom feed me that day, y'all. I'll never forget it. Thank you, Rosalind's mom. Peace, fam. Feed the light.